More on our breaking news now on the police officer who tasered a 95-year-old dementia sufferer. Let's go live once again to Isabel Mullen at Cooma Police Station. Isabel, what can you tell us?
Well, good evening, Mark. Kristian White, that 33-year-old police officer, has just been formally charged with 3 serious offences. Police Commissioner Karen Webb is expected to address the media in Sydney just before 7 o'clock tonight. Let me run you through his charges. He's been charged with recklessly causing grievous bodily harm, assault occasioning actual bodily harm and common assault. Mr White remains suspended and off his duties, but he has been stood down with pay. All this while Clare Nowland, is in hospital receiving end-of-life care. Mr White is expected to face Cooma local court on July 5. Mark.
Isabel Mullen with the very latest from Cooma. Thank you.
Within the last hour, New South Wales Police have commenced legal action against a 33-year-old senior constable from Monaro Police District for the offences of recklessly inflict grievous bodily harm, assault occasioning actual bodily harm and assault. He will appear at the Cooma local court on Wednesday the 5th of July this year. This matter now is before the court and there's little more than I can say about it, other than to say that the Nowland family have been informed of this development and our thoughts and prayers are with Mrs Nowland and her family this evening. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank the detectives who worked around the clock on this to get to this point within 7 days of that accident and nasty incident involving Mrs Nowland and the serious charges now before the court. Are there any questions?
Commissioner, how hard has the past week been for you with accusations the police will be covering this up, that it will be a snow job, that you will go easy?
I've said from the beginning, and it's important now, and I remain the same, that this is a proper process to remain fair and to see that the investigation is not prejudiced. And I am confident that we have come to a position now, 7 days later, that this matter is before the court without that interference.
Are you able to explain the decision to stand him down with pay?
He's in New South Wales. It's you're innocent until proven guilty, and so he is afforded the same opportunity as any other resident, and his employment will continue to be reviewed, but at the moment he is still suspended from the workplace.
Commissioner, could those charges be upgraded at any stage?
It is possible. It depends on what happens.
What's the morale of the force at this point?
Well, of course, this has been traumatic for everyone in the police force, and this is one matter, while the rest of the police force continues to do their job 24/7 to protect and look after the citizens of New South Wales.
Why haven't you released the body cam footage or watched it yourself?
I'm not the investigator.
How do you go forward from here in terms of the reputation of the force? Because there are many thousands who do the right thing multiple times every single day that don't make news, and all it takes is 1 or 2 rogue officers, allegedly rogue officers, and all of a sudden it's headline news for a week. How do you restore trust in your police force?
The community of New South Wales have trust in their police force, and as you say, this is one incident out of many, many calls for service. Over 2 million calls of service every year that we respond to for all sorts of things. So I'm sure that the community can be reassured that New South Wales Police will carry on with the job that we always do.
Commissioner, are you able to tell us
What
about
time were these charges laid?
Within the last hour.
Commissioner, are you able to explain what the reaction of the family was to the news that there had been charges laid?
No, I can't update you on that.
Are you able to explain how the LECC investigation will operate now that there are criminal charges laid?
That will still be maintained parallel to the criminal investigation.
Why are they on suspended leave without pay rather than suspended entirely?
I'm not sure I understand the question. So the officer has been suspended from the workplace.
So it's permanent? He's not going to...
Well, that will be subject to the court and the outcomes and my deliberations later down the track.
Mindful that your answer will be circumspect here because it is going to be before the court and it is one of your officers as well. It has been reported, and you would know, of what is alleged to be a disturbingly cavalier attitude from somebody with a taser in his gun standing in front of a 95-year-old officer. Are you dreading what's going to be coming out of this?
I mean, I've heard what's in that footage, and really that will be for a court to decide now. I don't want to preempt it.
Are you dreading people seeing it?
Well, I am concerned about what that will reveal, and that will be borne out in court like any other court matter.
Commissioner, just to clarify, it is what's on that footage that has led to the charges tonight?
No, it's not. It's not. The decision about commencing legal proceedings is based on all the evidence and all the material, so including statements from witnesses, experts and footage, and anything else that's gone into the brief of evidence. It will form part of the brief of evidence.
Are you aware whether the officer involved was breath tested any time afterwards, given the fact that he was called in, he was off duty at the time?
I'll have to check that. It is routine that when a critical incident is declared that does happen as a matter of course.
Is the officer in hospital at the moment?
Pardon?
Is the officer in hospital at the moment?
I'm not aware that he is. He's certainly been notified and served process, but certainly our thoughts are with the Nowland family right now.
Yeah, so moving forward, he's been charged. The focus tomorrow, will that be back on the family and looking after Mr. Nowland?
Well, it's always been on the family, and in fact Assistant Commissioner Cotter and the Commander visited the family tonight, so that remains our concern.
The fact that you've called a media conference now, 10 minutes before we're off air, it shows the urgency of this, and I guess the urgency to get the message out that there are no cover-ups, that you
That's
don't
right.
go soft and you will charge. Is it true to say that there was an urgency about getting this message out?
Well, I committed very early on that as soon as I had an update I would provide it, and so within an hour of commencing legal proceedings I'm here in front of you.
What was the reaction of the officer to the charges?
I don't know. I wasn't present for that, but obviously we'll see what happens in court now. But thank you for coming.
Will
Thank
Mr.
you.
Zanos be able to speak at all? Paul, can we ask you a couple of questions? I mean, operationally as well for you, this has been a very tough week.
It's a tough week. We've also had a lot of other business that we've had to attend to, but it has been a tough week.
How do you? I was saying to Man Webb just then. How do you restore the reputation of the force?
I think it's just day by day, week by week, and we just continue, to do the job that we do, and I think it just has to happen gradually.
Is anything going to change more broadly at how you respond to incidents at aged care homes specifically?
Look, I think a lot of things come out of a critical incident investigation, use of taser, how it's used, and that's par for the course. It's what we do, and we'll review what occurred.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks,